Sorry.
That's so funny.
Okay. Well, we'll see when the questions pop up.
Okay.
But okay, how did you get into styling or image consulting?
So my background really is in retail. So I've worked for some really amazing brands, Saks Fifth Avenue, Bottega Veneta, Tom Ford, Christian Dior, and Brunello Cucinelli. And then from there, it was just recognizing that whenever I left one space and went to the next, my clients would follow me. And really just understanding, like, I guess when I realized that they were asking for more than what the store carried. So when you work for, obviously, Dior can only offer you Dior, and Tom Ford can only offer you Tom Ford. And my clients were asking me to travel with them to, shop here or get my thoughts with this other brand. And once I reached the space where I felt secure in my ability to support myself, I was like, let me take this risk.
I like that. What was your favorite brand to work with, if you could say?
Oh yeah, of course. My favorite brand would be Tom Ford.
Oh, I love Tom Ford, especially for men.
There was nothing like the Tom Ford client in my opinion.
Really? What is a Tom Ford client like?
Tom Ford is unique because, like, oh my God, there's something, American designer, there's something just really, really cool about the guy that, and I'm talking specifically ready-to-wear. I'm not talking about, like, buying, sunglasses and perfumes and accessories and things. Like, the man or the woman that's really outfitting themselves in head to toe Tom Ford, I mean, the price point is quite high, and there's a feeling that, like, so it just felt really cool to be a part of a brand that felt like you worked for Tom Ford. Working for Tom Ford felt like, I don't know, like solidified, like you were just LL Cool J. Like, it was just like,
I love that.
Cucinelli was fun, but also I think the brand where I learned the most.
Someone said, what's today's topic? So this is Jerrimiah. He is now officially my image consultant. So any questions around image, consulting, personal shopping, he's outfitting a lot of folks for New York Fashion Week. So around brand, luxury brands, what to wear to particular events. I think they may also want to know that. Like, what does what does black tie, what does white tie look like? What do you want to wear to a gala? A lot of them are like young women in professional spaces. What social calendar events should they be planning for, and what sort of looks they should be planning for? All of that is his wheelhouse.
I appreciate that. Where should we start?
Okay, so if you're in your 20s or 30s, what do you think a healthy, like, what basic pieces or what pieces should someone use? And also, y'all, feel free to ask questions in the comments, but what pieces should they be focused on getting in their 20s, 30s as they're building their career, going to maybe a gala?
Can I be honest with you? I think that everyone needs to invest in a really good suit. And I think that you should be really mindful of like where you are what spaces you're trying to really hold court in or establish yourself in, and pay attention to what those men and women are wearing. And so what I mean by that is I would invest in substantial pieces that are essentials, and especially in my 20s, because if I spend the money that I need to on the jacket, then if I wanted to pair it with the not so pricey pieces, if it is the case that you're a high and low shopper, I would spend the amount of money necessary to have the type of jacket that's going to show up in the type of jacket that the client, whether it's the employer or whether it's someone that you're trying to do some business with, will recognize. Because if you're doing business with a woman or a man that's wearing or outfitted in Sergio Hudson or in Cucinelli or Tom Ford, they know that suiting and they know when you're not in it, if that makes sense.
I totally agree.
So it's important for you to be very clear who your client is and who you're wanting to align with, and to have pieces that will speak to them without you having to open up your mouth.
I agree. So I always say that there is an unspoken code in a lot of these aspirational rooms, and your job, if you're trying to get into those rooms, is to learn the language of that
Absolutely.
room. And so a lot of it is like understanding what they're wearing. So I started to understand that the girls were wearing Chanel bags, and I would have a cute little like Bottega bag or a more casual bag, but all the spaces that I was in was Chanel bags only. And so that's when I was like, it's time to get some Chanel bags. And you just got to figure out whatever works for your price point.
Right.
But
and also too, in that, forgive me for interrupting, because I think you brought up a really good point when you say whatever your price point is, because maybe it's not the case that you could step into Chanel at the early age of 20 and spend $10,000 on a handbag, and maybe the opportunity for you to find something that's vintage and has a story.
Yeah.
And depending on who the client is, and I say client often just because a lot of the men and women I outfit are in those spaces where it is client, front or facing, whether. But if you're interested in having a dialogue with that particular world, investing in pieces that provide or make it easy for you to have a story, if that makes sense, or share a story.
I love that. I totally
Vintage
agree.
Is always a good space for that.
That's a great point. And also, people are clocking what you're wearing, and they treat you accordingly to what you're wearing a lot of times. So, okay, we got some questions. Okay, so don't sleep on J. Crew for suits. Someone says, "Ooh, sounds exciting." Social calendar events, please. And then someone said, Should every event, say even a Super Bowl need an outfit? I tend to dress up always.
Yeah, I mean, I think that every event needs to be styled. I don't feel like you need to go out and invest in new all the time. I think it really is about utilization and how you're utilizing it. I think that if you invest in pieces that, your wardrobe should really look like, when you step into your closet, it should make you feel like, in my opinion, like your own little boutique. So in your case, it would be the boutique of Jody, Jody. So in that, what's the story of your life, if that makes sense, and how are you piecing these pieces together to tell a new story, if that makes sense. So do you need an outfit for the Super Bowl? Well, I think you need to show up for the Super Bowl, and I think that
you dropped so many casual bars.
I appreciate that. But and the way you do that is maybe you've worn this jacket with, typically you wear this jacket with this pant, reimagining it and reimagining that with several pieces in your closet. I grew up in a space where I had to figure out several ways of wearing the same thing, and we've kind of moved away from that. But there's some really cool things that you can do to up level or leverage or rework, and then utilize your pieces in a way that creates branding for yourself, in my opinion, but also to make someone look at you with fresh eyes, if that makes sense.
Ooh, that's good. Also, y'all keep liking the live so it will blow up a little bit more. Oh, and thank you. Nice to meet you at the airport, honey. I appreciate that. Okay, hold on. What is your advice for nicer brands for women in their 20s? I'm 21 and work in the music industry.
That's a really good question. I'm going to be really honest with you. I've been working in luxury retail at this level for a very long time, and I don't know that it's fair to say that you should be investing in these pieces so young. But I will tell you that I think you would be doing yourself a lot of service if you're able, whether it's resale, vintage, or if you are able to shop new. Sticking with brands like Tom Ford is a great example. Dior, but not Dior the trendy stuff, like the nice knits would be a good spot or a good space. Cucinelli, Bottega, not the trend now that Daniel Lee is with Burberry. A lot of those everyday pieces. There's a huge improvement as it relates to the quality in their pieces right now. I think that it's always important to invest in real pieces, nothing that's synthetic, things that feel really good on the skin, things that even as they age, they look better. They become your favorite things, not things that are a few times you wear it and then it's just kind of this feels icky. I think that you should be investing in layering pieces. Layering is a sign of wealth. So you should have scarves, you should have a cardigan, you should have a blazer, you need a denim piece, a nice pair of pants. And when I say a nice pant, a wool blend or stretch wool pant is a really great investment. You absolutely need to have something like that. You can pair that with a great cotton tee, thick quality, of course, something that you can wear on its own or you can layer it with. I think that, those are the things that come to mind. I don't think that you should invest, I don't think you should invest so much in so many pieces that have a name or the logo on it that has too much branding on it. I think that you want something that you can have and wear repeatedly for a long period of time, and something that when you may be 20 today, but when you're 30, you feel good about wearing, because your circle will change, and you don't want to feel like, oh, that's too young, and then hate the fact that you spent $3,000 on that and you can't wear it now. Like the whole goal of clothing is for you to really put together, a collection of I mean, you're wearing your life, so this is your collection of memories, if you will. So
that's good.
Yeah.
That's so good. You're so great at this. Also, layering is a sign of wealth. I love that.
You should always have something you can take off.
Is that what the girls do? Okay, I love that. Okay. Someone said jeans. Any jeans?
Jean denim, I would do. AG denim makes really great jeans. Who else is a good denim brand?
I don't wear jeans. You know I don't wear pants at all, so I don't know. Okay. Someone said, how does the average person utilize the services of a stylist or even find one?
I mean, right now, it's everywhere. Styling, Google or the magazine. I think right now, it's so strange for me. It's difficult to answer this question because I feel like, for me, I don't even understand or believe how I've gotten to this space, because I feel like it's so out there. I feel like everyone is telling you what to wear. It's so easy now. If you are the type of person that's led or influenced by celebrities and influencers, it's right there. I think that it's just about being open-minded and really becoming comfortable with the fact that there's different facets of yourself that you would like to explore. And really, I don't know that it's about working with the stylist as much as it is about, I force people to look at this facet as opposed to what they see immediately when they think of themselves. So I think that if you would challenge yourself, I invite you to challenge yourself to really lean into those spaces that you aren't so comfortable with just yet, and try, stepping outside in something that you wouldn't normally wear, but you would really like to wear. And then following what is, for the most part, fashion is telling you what to wear. There's a reason why some of the brands typically have a similar trend going on, if you will. So you can always use that as like a crutch, if you will, paying attention to how they are leading. And then from there, pull what applies to you and explore. That's what I would say.
And can you share your Instagram? I'll type it in the chat too. But can you share the Instagram for the people who want to find an image consultant?
My Instagram is at Jerrimiah James, JERRIMIAH, James, JAMES.
Amazing. And keep liking so we can keep getting more. We're at 1.6K. So keep liking. Okay, so Trey said, what would your advice be on a man? What would your fashion advice be for a 28-year-old man?
You gotta be clean. Can I be honest with you? I think that, this is so really, really important. And I think that, especially with guys, because fashion is open up in a way where guys get to explore so many things that perhaps wasn't as common or well received even 10, 15 years ago. But in that, there's a gentleman that look that a clean, sophisticated, elevated, a guy that looks like he's got his shit together, that's always in.
I agree.
And so just being just clean is so finding a great pair of denim, a great pant, a great belt, a great pair of clean shoes, boots, a nice jacket, a nice leather piece. Having that clean look will always be just important and relevant. And it doesn't matter if it's the white leg, jean today or the cargo pant tomorrow. That look, in my opinion, black, white, purple, brown, big, tall, short, large, that look is always what people are attracted to when it comes to a guy,
I agree.
So, and investing in a nice bag, whether that's a backpack, duffel bag, or suitcase, but finding something that gives the energy of you're about your business, whether it's in a sporty space or more corporate facing, but having, on down to an ink pen, even that is a very powerful, the energy of that and pulling it out. I've convinced some of my guys to invest in these ink pens or, a couple of $1,000s, and it doesn't make sense until you have it. And then you realize, oh wow, I move differently with it. Much like a watch. definitely have to have a nice watch piece.
We are always clocking watch and shoes.
Yeah,
As
absolutely.
women, we are always going to clock a man's watch and shoes. And I even see the trends on TikTok where men who are cleaning their apartments or men who are like have it beautifully designed home, they end up going viral because it's such like antithetical to what we've seen. And when a man is clean and polished, it just does something. We just love it. Also, thank you, Stacey Tucker, for the gift. Thank you, honey. Okay, so Jackie says, I want to revamp my styling closet. What are some tips to get started or how to start the process?
Oh, God. I do an audit and edit with it. What I look for, and actually I have a great video, not to plug me, but I have a great video on my Instagram about it.
Please plug you, yeah.
But like, honestly, like go into your closet, try your pieces on, touch everything. Just, you have to touch everything. Check for care concerns, like if there's holes, if it's supposed to be white and it's a little off-white, if it's dingy, like let go of that energy because that doesn't serve you. And if you think you can see the yellow, then someone else definitely will see the yellow, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why people keep those pieces in a wardrobe. Also, too, if you're the type of person that puts all of the colors together, you're doing yourself a huge disservice because you're not able to see everything in your closet. So chances are you're not wearing all of what you have to offer. So I like to merchandise the closet. And, essentially, like, that's, finding, merchandising your closet such that it's easy for you to pull a few different tops for this pant or, this shoe for that. Again, the video does a much better job of explaining because I'm in it doing it. But my point is, if you can merchandise your closet such that it gives you the same energy or experience when you go into a boutique to shop, where the tops aren't so far away from the bottoms and the color stories are telling you like, oh, this pairs well together, you'll be amazed with how much money you save as well as how easy it becomes for you to find the holes that are in your closet. If that makes sense.
Agree. I mean, I have so much stuff. I end up buying multiples of like the same silhouette and then I'm like, wait, I spent so much money and I have a dress that looks exactly like this because I didn't see it. Okay. Best jewelry pieces to invest in.
You need rings. Women need, I shouldn't even limit it to just women, but rings. Things that dance around your wrists are always really important. Of course, things that dance around, you can say things that dance around your neck are important, but I think that the wrists are more powerful in my opinion. I pay attention to hands. So, obviously fingernails and things like that, but like the watch, I would say bangles, bracelets. If you're someone that wears earrings, I would say definitely that. Also, too, I like the idea of women expanding their collection of earrings. It seems like this is like an easy thing, and the neck is easy. But like when it comes to earrings, it seems to be like that one pair of stud or hoops you go to, and then that bijou stuff from Dior, which is I would say stay away from that. Like I think that you really should be thinking about your jewelry pieces as pieces you would like to pass down to someone, or pieces that in the event that something went, wrong, you could get some money for. Like you should be treating your pieces the way we treat our art, the way that you treat things that are, in hard times, you want to be able to get some money quick. So you should be investing in things that, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so, because the same as you would like, especially nowadays with Chanel bags and things think like that when it comes to jewelry. I find that people go cheap with jewelry and, they go high with shoes and handbags. And when I see that, it's such a red flag because it tells me that you don't really have the full lifestyle.
Oh,
because it doesn't make sense, So like, because if you're spending $10,000 on your bag and you've got $300, like it's just it's strange for me.
It's cognitive dissonance,
right? So we gotta like tell the whole story, tell the complete story, and at least pull out pull together, in my opinion, like the exterior. So if it's just gonna be the shoe, if it's gonna be accessories, like if you're someone that invests in shoes and handbags, make sure your jewelry pieces are like right.
Oh, good to know.
Because there's the type of client that she's not really big on the shoes and handbags, but her ready to wear is killing. And she gets to get away with that because very few people outfit their entire lifestyle at that level.
That's so true. Because everyone is spending a lot on shoes and bags.
Exactly.
Anyone can do that.
So how do you make that look special?
Because
there's a bunch of people giving the illusion that they're living it, right? And you can't tell the difference. And I just look at your jewelry.
Oh,
because you can't go.
That's how they're clocking you. Jewelry. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, interesting. Layering is a sign of wealth. Yeah, I found that interesting. Someone said ideas for good work bags to invest in.
Oh my God. Get good leather. It's so hard to find good leather these days because all the brands are taking more of a commercial approach to producing. But like, I love Tom Ford bags. I love Bottega bags. Don't get anything that's super trendy or something you would grow tired of or something that's too dizzy or busy. So like prints and things like that, stay away from. Go and take something that, when it comes to a bag, it needs to be, and this is my opinion, something that's very worldly. It needs to give the energy of like, oh, this person is well traveled, exposed. It can't be so like, if you're not this is again my opinion, if you're not an athlete or a celebrity, you shouldn't be investing so much in the type of pieces that they can outfit their life around, because it's literally part of their job is to flip it quickly, right?
Yeah.
But if you're someone where things need to make sense in your life, invest in something that feels good, like feels really, really good. I don't want to say boring. I think when it comes to bags, it needs to be something that, this is my opinion, is like, if you know, and if you don't, it really wasn't meant for you to get it.
Oh, that's it. What's a brand? What's a good brand example of that?
Oh my God. I mean, I love Loewe. I love. I think that the Row is doing some really beautiful pieces. Again, for guys, I definitely like a Tom Ford piece or a Bottega piece. I love Bottega, period. I worked for that brand, and I will tell you that it was a very rewarding experience as it relates to like a company that takes pride in the pieces that they create, craftsmanship wise. I would stay away from things that are like, here's a tip: if it's so recognizable, maybe that's not it. That's
interesting. And what I'm also hearing you saying is like the holistic picture of like, don't spend so much on one item that the rest of it doesn't make sense.
That's
and don't
exactly right.
like over invest in one thing so you can,
because it can't carry the whole thing.
Exactly. It can't carry your whole look. Your bag can't carry your whole look. And also there are a lot of people who are able to invest in the entirety, and sometimes we only recognize the Birkin bag. Right. But they're also wearing Chanel ready to wear head to toe.
Exactly.
And like that sells it. But
right.
even just getting the Birkin bag and you're in Zara, it's not fully selling the story. And that exactly ultimately causes a little bit more dissonance than just being head to toe. Maybe it's like head to toe. What's like a mid-level brand? Because the Row definitely is a mid-level.
Right, that's I'm trying to process.
The Row is trying to.
A mid-level brand. See, I don't
know a mid-level brand.
I don't.
Well, we'll get back to y'all. Okay.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
So many questions. Okay. I want to get the Schiaparelli earrings. Ooh, which ones?
So let's talk about jewelry for a second longer. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea to go to the fashion houses for jewelry either. So I think that you should really like research. Like if you're going to spend money on jewelry, like really understand the space, and I've sold quite a bit of jewelry, so I'm not speaking from a space of what I've read. I'm actually speaking from a space of attending high jewelry shows and writing orders for that. I just think it's really, really important for you to understand like provenance and having something that can, especially as it relates to being people of color and now stepping into wealth like we are now and being able to invest in these pieces, having something that's heirloom, something that can really be significant years later on. And unfortunately, oftentimes the fashion houses, they're able to put that price on the piece of jewelry regardless of whether or not it's worth it, because the name adds its value.
Chanel costume jewelry is
crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So like just do some research. There's other really great houses that you can shop from that aren't necessarily fashion but really carry their weight as it relates to like the value. For example, Robert Prokop out of Beverly Hills. Like just like getting the right certificates and things like that becomes really, really important. People are spending money on costume jewelry and they could have some weight. And that's what's shocking to me.
Yeah, it's true. Chanel costume jewelry. Thank you, Stacy, for the rose. James's skin is flawless. Loving this live. Ooh, a lot. We're trying to get to all the questions. There's a lot. Okay. And thank you all for the likes. Keep liking. We appreciate you. Let's see. Okay, so we did work too many people too worried about the tags, logos, and not textiles. That's right,
Right,
Mariah.
that's exactly right.
Layering is a sign of love. Those classic pieces can be worn over time and passed down. I want my daughter in my wool coat. So
That's exactly right. You want mohair, you want cotton, you want things that are like living, like things that people like. The people like. There's a group of people who love what they do and they grow something that's living, and then we have the honor, the privilege of wearing it on our skin.
That's so good.
So yeah, like definitely.
That's so good. Okay, some Noni's Juice said, "What about summer? Could you clarify that question about summer? What specifically about summer?" And then Tia said, "I want to transition my looks. Where should I start? What should I start to invest in? I'm 26 years old."
A knit. I love a good knit. I think it's really important. I would always say layering. I would always say like a nice just a nice sweater, cardigan, turtleneck. These kind of like really classic pieces. Like the moment you're like you've secured the job, you've got the bag. Get what is maybe even the things that you used to like feel like your parents wore and it was old. Like find that look that is hot, that's fashion, you know. And expensive, really, but something that in that world it means something. So, like the moment you're able to get a really nice suit, do that. The moment you're able to get a really nice, clean knit with nothing on it, do that. Even if you, and it's almost strange because sometimes I find myself having to really like pour out to my clients and getting them to understand the value and having something that's 100% cashmere. You know, like when we think about. When we think about clothing and the raw materials it takes to make these pieces, and why it's worth it and investing in is because precious materials are really quite rare, and because of that, it actually looks a certain kind of way. You know, you may not know what mohair is, but you know when you see it on somebody that don't look like what I've got on, and so you want to have those types of pieces. The moment you're able to step into those worlds. If you're doing fine dining experiences, now it's time to outfit yourself such that it's in alignment, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Okay, so if I'm going to a fine dining restaurant, what does alignment look like there?
Layering. So we need to remove something. It's proper to have there's a reason why the coat check things, especially in the older, that's such a ceremony. Yeah. So you need to start investing in ceremonial type of pieces. Does that make sense?
Oh, it does. That's brilliant. I love that.
I don't know if that, but anyway.
No, we love this. People love you. Okay, I want to transition. Oh no, if you could dress any celebrity or influencer to revamp their look, who would it be and why?
Oh my God, I can't answer that. I don't even know. Okay, to be very clear, my clients, the type of clients that I work with, my entire business is referral only. I'm not in that scene. Like I don't do celebrity clients. I don't do influencer or anything like that. I say that because the man and woman that I'm outfitting, she makes entirely too much money to be concerned with what Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is doing. Transparently, like she is really like about her. Yeah. She's like we're having conversations like Jerry. I have like most recent. I had a client she's the moderator and she's hosting this really profoundly brilliant guest, and it's a big deal. But those are the types of conversations that we're having. I don't know that I would even go into. I think that when you are the type of person that's concerned with, I won't say that. Let me figure out how to say this. I don't know of my mind doesn't go to that place because my job is really to make sure she's suited and booted. Like the tailoring is perfect. Everything complimented. It's not offensive. It reads. It's easy to be received, and you respect her or him. We're looking at it. I'm in a different wheelhouse. I don't know.
And that's that on that. Nothing left to be said. Okay. Tia, what would you say to a person what would you say a person should start to invest in if they want to transition?
If they want to transition. I'm curious to know what's in your wardrobe that you don't like, and then I would start to like repair or find something better than it. Like if you're wanting to transition, that says to me like, if you're like, what feeling are you wanting to communicate? How would you like to be received? And go to those pieces in your wardrobe. If they don't make you feel that way, then maybe we need to put that in a box or remove them out of the closet, your main closet, and put it somewhere else. See if you ever have the desire to go back to those pieces, but start investing in pieces that make you feel like strong, if that's what it is, or powerful, if that's, or command attention, if that's what it is. There's a suit that a guy wears when he's getting ready to fire someone, and there's a suit that a woman wears when she's getting ready to hire. Like, there's a different. So, what story are you wanting? What energy are you trying to?
This is good. You're a natural. Okay. Thank you, Stacy. She said sunglasses are a must for me to finish a look. Tosin said, "What's your opinion on the different styles, streetwear versus classy?"
Honestly, it's so funny. It's such a great question. I think it's so interesting how fashion did such there was such a desperate attempt made to keep that community out. When I was growing up, it wasn't called streetwear. So I like how we have to relabel things in order to make it more palatable. But my point in saying that is, I think that streetwear has certainly earned, its position. It's always been here. It will always be around. But classics that's my wheelhouse. I love a good. I think that the streetwear space is born out of, I don't want to say needs, but it was a certain way of life. And I think that I'm speaking for myself as a black man, and now that I feel more free and more embraced in spaces and places that weren't always, I get to now step into this attire and own that now in the way where I feel once expected to only do this one thing well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And now it's like, there's just very few people that can I feel like now we can go into this classic space and create an entirely different new energy. Does that make sense?
It does. Sort of ownership of what we were not at one point allowed to engage in. And then not only ownership, but also really elevate it and make it our own and intertwine it with our own personality.
Because I feel like as when it comes to streetwear, I don't want to say it's done. I think that it's fascinating and quite amazing, the landscape and how much space was made for so much. In fact, that brands that were once against it had to embrace it and had to serve that clientele. So now I feel like now that door has been open, but now that we can play over into this other classic space, I think that we can put our footprint on that, or a thumbprint on that in that space as well in a way.
I love it. Okay. So let's see. Thank you, Nani. She said, loving this live. Someone said advice for tall women.
Oh, tall. I would tell you Sergio Hudson. I really, really, truly believe. I'm telling you, not just because I love that brand, I love that man, I love Inga. The design is all the things, but he allows you to make the decision. If you're petite, you can, him, or you can make alterations such that it won't change the design. And if you're tall, Sergio Hudson has his collection is with you in mind.
Amazing. Thank you, Stacy, for the rose. Someone said, please save this to your page if you can. If you can tell me how to save this, please let me know. Oh my God, we have 43 messages. I love this. Mariah said Mont Blanc. Invest in Mont Blanc. Watch.
Mont Blanc for sure.
I went to this again. OxyClean, baby. Someone said OxyClean for maintaining. Color, you mentioned earlier about resale clothes. What are some great spots? Do you know any resale spots? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. What goes around? God, there's labels in Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. I do a lot of .com, Grill. That's it. That's the only thing that comes immediate to mind. If I'm gonna be honest with you, what you have to do the moment you're able to go to Paris, and if you can't, that's where you want to, I promise you. I promise you. Yeah. It's much more so there's it's much more affordable, and it's everywhere. Yeah. And it's so, it's so respectful. The way that they have the garments, and it's just so beautiful. So I can't think of, labels and that's easy here, but I'm telling you, if you want to get some good pieces, if you and your girlfriends or your guy friends decide to take a trip overseas and go to Paris or whatnot, find time to go and find some good pieces secondhand there, because it's likely pieces that haven't over here, and so it will give a completely new or different energy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've never thought of doing secondhand. I'm not a good secondhand shopper. I don't know where to look. Thank you, Emma, for saying this is amazing. Keep liking this live. I want to get Schiaparelli earrings. Those are art and jewelry. Same for clothes. Chanel and Zara. What are some good earrings to invest in?
Sydney Garner. I love Robert Prokop. Who's another one? You know, honestly, what you all should do is go to the Pearl Marts. That's what you should. First of all, the price is so much better, but you can find a lot of really great jewelry designers. I think that it's dangerous when we become so, what's the word? Accustomed to seeing it once it's, commercialized, I guess. Like packaged and everything, and it's made pretty and all. But there's some good. I mean, obviously, it's my job to go into those spaces and places and find it or whatnot. But the Pearl Mart is something that there's typically days out of the month where you can go to the Pearl Mart if it's not the case that you have your own store and you can shop direct. And it's a great place. Like if you don't have a lot of gold, if you don't have a lot of diamonds or whatnot, it's a great first step to building out your collection because you can find those pieces at like the wholesale price is quite amazing. And then even if it's the case that it's not telling exactly what you wanted to say, like maybe you really do want to get that Cartier Love bracelet or you have it already. Sorry, I'm having trouble with words. But you put it on and you realize it's just still not giving you the life that you'd like for your wrist to be giving you. So the Pearl Mart is a great place to find those beautiful pieces, great quality, a great price that can add to that designer piece that you have.
Yeah, I love that.
Piece of jewelry.
Someone said, "How did you and Jody meet?" We gonna skip that one. Okay, Cass said maybe the Margot. Okay, great. Prada for me.
I love Prada.
You're a Prada fan?
I love Prada, and I love Prada because it's they're resilient. Like they really stay true to that aesthetic, and even when Prada isn't hot, it is hot because I just appreciate anyone who's just kind of oblivious to what anyone else has to say about them. Like this is what we do.
Yeah.
I
love that. Okay, what's the small statements that most people overlook that always make you look put together? That's a good question.
The small pieces, I would just I love a scarf. I love a jacket. If it's too warm to actually wear it, I put it on my shoulders. I think that I feel like if you just take care of yourself, you find pieces that really don't have to do the talking for you, and you want to put it all on. Like even this here, like the story that this is telling, it's like, but really this is just a sweatshirt. Yeah. But there's something about like adding it to, like I like those types of moments, right?
I love that. Okay, child, we got. The people love you. The people love you. You have 60 questions. Okay, what watch am I wearing? Ooh, child, Rolex, stay just. Okay.
Rolex, that's another one.
Rolex.
If you invest in Rolex, please don't keep it the way that it was when you purchased from.
Bust down.
Don't ruin your Rolex because you think that adding diamonds.
Oh no, we can't do a bust down. Yeah. Okay, what's his hand? Someone asked for your handle again. Can you share that?
Absolutely, Jerrimiah James. It's on Instagram. It's JERRIMIAH JAMES. Jerrimiah James.
Okay, what's his pin it.
Pin it.
I don't know how to do
that. Guys, I don't know how to do
it. We are new to. Someone said, "How do I become an image consultant?"
Can I be honest with you? Start in retail. Like I would not have been able to do the things that I've been able to achieve or do if not for retail. I think it's really, really important for you to understand the business of fashion before stepping out and being a stylist. And that's whether you want to outfit celebrities or you want to work with the corporate woman. I think it's really important for you to understand how do you build a relationship with the brands. There's a reason why I get invited to the shows and I get to attend the parties and go to the dinners and the private side of fair experiences. All of that is because I've honored and I've been a good steward of what it is that I learned in retail, and I'm able to give that back to the stores where I shop.
That's good.
While still meeting the client's needs.
I love that. Okay, Sandra.
And you have to build a book.
Yeah.
So you have to be you may be really, really good at outfitting, even better than me, but if you don't know how to speak, if you can't engage, if you don't know how to hold court, do ceremony. Those are the things that so much of my job is putting the spotlight on people, and that goes beyond the garment, right? So, like really, like practice with your friends, your loved ones, family members, and go to different spaces and places, not just in someone's home. Like test it out if you're at at a restaurant or out. Like how would that happen? I've had to show my skills and present myself in spaces that outside of a store, outside of someone's home, outside. So really test your your knowledge and your comfort level.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. Okay. I'm not spending a bag on gold-plated jewelry. I know. Going to a jeweler for quality custom pieces.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I honestly get all of my things from a jeweler, and some guy put me onto that.
Yeah,
he bought me a bracelet, and he was like, "We went to the jeweler for this.
Absolutely.
We don't go straight to Van Cleef or anything like that." Okay. Custom remakes of fashion house jewelry. Is that tacky? Jewelry brands. I feel like we talked about jewelry brands. How do I? Okay. I'm gonna try and pin it. We love this. Such a rich conversation. Thank you for this information. Best denim.
Denim. I said AG.
Yeah.
Frame is great denim. Paige is great denim. She was actually a fit model. Yeah, those are great denim.
Someone said, "Where do you live?" Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Oh my gosh, it's Anwar. Oh, everyone loves Anwar. He's my favorite. Hi, Anwar. What are good starting places for shoes, like non-sneakers? For women? Oh, yeah. Women. I like Tom Ford for shoes.
Definitely Tom Ford. Prada is another good one. Like Prada shoes. Yeah, Prada shoes is always gonna be relevant. Manolo Blahniks will always be.
Yeah, Manolo Blahnik will always be the girl shoe.
You just have to have.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that the it brands when it comes to shoes are always the quiet luxury ones. That's just what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've met him before. Someone named Sai said, "Y'all, I'm trying to figure out how to pin his social media. I can't figure out how to pin his social media, but we will keep on typing it in the chat. Please pin him. Thank you. What would you wear to Mykonos, Greece to display a classy vibe? Mykonos is a bit party.
I mean, like it's party. It's easy. We'll go to Jackie O for sure. Club it down there. Oh my
God! Wait, Jackie O, is that I know. I went there in I think they have a version in.
Yep, there's
Antigua maybe or something.
I'm not sure what the other one is. It's a beach club.
I've been to that one, but not in Mykonos.
Here's my advice to that. Dress according to the weather. I think it's fascinating when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, that, and the other." You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's like if it's hot in Texas, what do you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it's always profound to me when clients are like, "Oh, I'm gonna wear this, that," and no, you're not. And also too, it's never appealing to not look like you.
Yeah.
You don't want to stand out. You want to be received, right? Like if someone where I'm from. Especially, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, but like when someone didn't look like they belonged, right? That wasn't an attractive statement. Yeah. Like you want to look like you want to be able to talk to the locals and have a conversation. Obviously, white, linen, blue, those kind of like pastel colors will be well received in that space. I don't know what time of the year you're going. A nice knit or cable knit sweater would be good as a layering piece. Something that's breathable, of course. But yeah, like those. I guess that's my advice, right?
I love that. That's great. That's great. So many amazing notes from this conversation. Oh, this is a good one, Serena. What is your process of creating a story with clothes?
Oh my God! Like, what is?
Well, the first question that you asked me, the first question that he asked me was like, how would you describe yourself? Like, what is your identity? What is your brand? Like, what are you trying to give in this space? So I really felt like you tried to intentionally get to know me. Not only me where I am now, but aspirationally. Like, what am I trying to give? To do? And also what my social calendar looks like.
Right.
And, like, where are you trying to go? That's
exactly right. Because sometimes people get... marketing is a dangerous thing. And, sometimes people are... They it's so easy to fall into what it is that Louis Vuitton is trying to give.
Sell you,
So it's like, what when it comes to your personal brand, what do you want people to think of about you? Does that make sense? So I think starting there is the most important thing. Like not being concerned with what's hot, what Rihanna is wearing. Like I'm removed from all of that. It's like you and who are you entertaining? Like people are wanting to dress like, Drake, but you're not having conversations with Jay-Z. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
You are going to work.
It's like,
you are clocking in, yeah.
Why are we let's figure this space out, own that space, and then be promoted into new spaces and figure out how you should be right, exactly, and then work from there. But like, you don't get there at this level dressed like that's not quite how it works. Yeah. Like in theory, like we're gonna. It's some, you know what I'm saying, but the way that it really, that's exactly right. Yeah. Journey is the word. So,
I love that. Okay. Wear clothes that you want to say, wear the suit. Ooh, wait. Jackie, I like that perspective. Wear clothes what you want to say, wear the suit you're getting. Okay. I feel like it was profound. I didn't quite catch it this time, but retype it. Okay, the culture is definitely going back to the classics like Harlem Renaissance. I want to live at is it never the same? What's his handle? I'm going to type it in the chat because we keep on asking. Pin his handle. Yes, can someone please pin his handle? I don't know how to do it. For someone that is not into white fashion houses, what are some black ones with the same looks? We were just talking about that.
And you know what? And I really appreciate that question. I'm going to be really transparent and vulnerable here. I've done a really, really poor job up until recently supporting black-owned luxury designers, and that has been something I'm moving my entire business. We're changing the direction. But like right now, I've got a great partnership with Sergio Hudson, and that I hosted him at my store in Atlanta, Georgia. We did a trunk show. I would just tell you that, like, personally, they have given me the opportunity to go to their private ateliers to see how their pieces are manufactured, what they're using to produce these pieces, to make these pieces. I've never seen anything like such quality care, just truly outstanding, like stunning. Really, really stunning pieces. We just had the appointment. So it was so good. I hope you all saw it. But Sergio Hudson, Laquan Smith, Kendall, Miles.
Is Christopher Esber black?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I don't know either. Maybe we'll figure it out after this live.
Christopher John Rogers.
Yes, Christopher John Rogers.
What's another one? Brandon.
Brandon Blackwood.
Blackwood, yes. There should be so many names coming out of my mouth.
What did you think of that guy? He's Haitian, Jean-Pierre. He kind of blew up recently because he had all of this funding from like the CFDA fund. And then he did this runway show, like couture show, where he was doing tropes of like.
CD Green is another one. Sorry.
He did all of these tropes of like black inventions, like peanut butter. What is his name? I feel like y'all are gonna know it. He's Haitian. Kirby, Kirby.
Oh, Kirby, yeah. Kirby yes, I'm like in love.
Okay, what is his Pierre Moss?
Pierre Moss.
That's what it is.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out what it is.
And actually, he's doing it's not a trunk show, but they're doing like some type of
the mob, the grab.
That's exactly right. Pretty much. See, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Mixed feelings on Kirby, but never mind. Never mind. Okay, for someone. Okay, jewelry brands. We talked about jewelry already. So much character. Yes, I cannot subscribe to the colonizer's aesthetic mood. The name is Pearl.
Can we go back to that question? I think it's really, really important when you're not subscribing to that aesthetic. It's, if anything, it's an exploitation of.
It's ours.
I mean, I want to be like.
It
really, truly is. So it's not. I don't want to go in that conversation. I'm not sure what your following looks like, but I want to be respectful. But the truth is, it's not the case that.
And allies.
I mean, like, we are creating.
Yeah.
Like, there's a, I just.
Not the smile.
I'm trying not to go there, but no.
I love it. Okay. Hold on. We are Pierre Moss. Yes, thank y'all. Jody, what was your journey career-wise to afford this lifestyle? Welcome back to that. I do work in corporate. I just have generous friends and people that love me, honestly. And thankfully, also a lot of, thank you. Like I said, a lot of my life has been people putting me on. I have so happened to meet people who worked with image consultants who introduced me to him and other amazing people. And I've just been very intentional about expanding my network. And like that has created so many opportunities for me. Like, yes, I make a cute coin, but at the end of the day, it's more about exposure, networking. Those things have netted way more benefits than my 9-to-5 job. So people have been very kind and generous in some ways. And additionally, I have been very intentional about building relationships that my corporate job is just one small piece of how I've been intentional about building my network and building experiences for myself, and I've been able to cultivate and curate relationships that way. I'll keep it there. Okay, let's see it. Honey, listen. Robert Prokop is out of our budget, sir. We need to connect. Check your recent followers. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that y'all are becoming friends in the comments too. Okay. Oh, Italian and Spanish brands are usually consistent with leather quality, i.e. Prada and Loewe, as you said. Ferragamo. What time is your next appointment, by the way?
6:30. Oh, we're good though.
Okay, honey, listen. Let's see. Oh, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the badge. Oh yes, Jerrimiah James. Easier to go on a site. Can you speak on a way? Can you speak on a way to style sneakers in a classy way?
Oh no, just like honestly, just dress them up. Like don't even think about it. Just put it on. Like if you look good, like if it's quality, you say dress it up in a classy way. Like nice wool blend pant, a nice belt, plain belt. Like it doesn't have to have the big H and the L. Like don't do all that to you.
The Hermes belt ain't given.
You know when you're really proud of yourself, you don't need to show off anybody. Like you know what I'm saying, like. Typically, you reserve, especially with the guy, he reserves that for his woman. Ooh. Like being mindful of what it is that you're supposed to like show, and knowing when that's not the thing to show on self. Like if that makes sense, you know. Like so. Anyway, I say that to say like don't. Not that it's not necessary to have one of those moments every now and then, but not everything is like a dress up concert for Beyonce. You know, like it doesn't need to be. The brag, people who have it rarely boast about it.
I agree.
And if that's really what you're wanting, and I'm making an assumption here, because maybe you do want to be flashy, but for those of us who aren't interested in being flashy and to really step into the lifestyle and to really have wealth, looking like wealth is really, there's a fine line.
Yeah.
Showcasing it is never wealthy.
Yeah,
like putting it out there. So anyway, like a nice knit tucked in, again something over the shoulder or a jacket worn, a nice cap. That's how I would style my sneakers.
I love that. I don't own any sneakers. I own one pair of sneakers for the gym.
You should have a pair of sneakers.
I have Air Force
You got
One. Wait, no,
let me tell you something, guys. Look at that.
Sneakers?
Yeah, if you don't have like a guy that's one like. Because he's looking for a woman that's going to be...
A duality who can do it both.
And if you can't be like the homie too and there's no snake, like that's
not
cute.
The homie, I can't be the...
It's just like, okay, so everything got to be pretty?
Yeah. Well, I have a pair of Air Max.
Air Max, yeah. So you got to have like...
Okay, that's good.
We got to run to the game, like do some like, you know...
Okay, do a little sneaker shop. Okay.
Right.
Devin said, where can I find great quality clothing for plus size?
Plus size, okay. And I will get back to you because that's something else that I'm having to do. I'm in a space right now with clients who are looking for plus size, but we're getting pieces done custom. So I don't know what your price point is. If you gave me a price point, then I would be able to better serve as it relates to providing you an answer.
Okay, perfect. Jody, what was your career
I will
journey?
say with plus size though, making sure that you're comfortable in clothing is very, very important. Just because with my clients who are being being too hot, being too restricted aren't good feelings for them, you know. For anyone really. But my point is like sticking with things that are natural fibers and things like that is really important.
Perfect. Okay, Jerrimiah James. Yes, we got it. Okay, perfect. Advice for a tall woman and wearing heels. I'm 6 feet and I need to wear them for events now.
You should wear your heels.
Yeah, girl. Oh my God. If I were tall, I would be stepping over these.
Absolutely.
Kirby, yes. Ooh, image consultant. I love that question. What would be your first step into curating for a client? Thank you.
We always talk about this. I need to know how you're living and leading your life.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter. Like I go out there and shop for you and spend a bunch of money, but is that what you actually really want? I need to understand what does travel look like, home, like do you have multiple homes? Are you in multiple clients? Are you here in this market for an extended amount of time? or are you in, you know, multiple markets? Like those are the things that I'm looking for when I'm outfitting.
I love that. That's great. Don't forget to like this live, y'all. Keep liking. Ooh, what are your thoughts on?
What was that?
What are your thoughts on the new African fashion houses?
I need to do more research.
Yeah.
I'm still, you know, like I think that if we could be really honest with you, so much of my personal story, forgive me,
Okay.
is having to make statements and do what I needed to do for more well-known fashion houses. And now that I'm in a space where it's like I really have my own book and they're really kind of offensive with their spin level, now it's like, oh, okay, now I can go out and explore and do things that outside of the box that, you know, for me originally it was so important to make it to the shows and, you know, and to make this Reese appointment that you have to establish yourself.
Can you explain what a Reese is?
So a Reese appointment is when there's a client that's not shopping in the mall. And to be honest with you, that's the client that I serve. So he shops right after the show. And if maybe there's a need for me throughout the year to go to the mall or whatnot, but they send me, she's not going in there, you know. So a Reese appointment happens right after the fashion show, and perhaps it's at like, it could be at that venue, it could be at a hotel, it could be at several different spaces. It could be in a restaurant, depending on what the creative director is wanting the mood to be like. But it's private and it's open to you know, the elite client, the top spinners of that particular brand. But you know, honestly, I shouldn't even say that. I would imagine that anyone could really write an order. But that's where you, like for example, we're getting ready to see we're seeing fall 24. So the Reese appointment is going to be an opportunity for the client to write all of the pieces that they like, that they would like to have in their wardrobe once, you know, after production and that delivery hits.
Okay.
So they receive their pieces at the same time that the department store.
Wow.
Sometimes earlier.
Nice. So once they get it, it's one of one for a period of time. Where when they go out, they can be slightly certain that they're going to be the only person in that outfit.
Well, not necessarily. That's if they buy exclusively like runway. Now that you can, because some ready-to-wear pieces are gonna walk the runway, they'll just be the first to have it.
I see. Okay, got it. Image consultant. Love Pure Moss. Absolutely love that. I agree with you. It's our aesthetics, but they got the coin though. Thanks for the rep on the Black House. Styling sneakers is hard for me, girl. Me too, clearly. Who is your friend? We already talked about this. Jody, for college kids that see you as an influence. Oh, I'm a senior. What steps should we take?
Get yourself a nice pair of shoes. Are you talking to me or you? Sorry, I want to make
They're
sure.
talking to me.
Okay.
Hello. It's okay. No, go ahead.
No, I'm listening. No.
Oh, steps we should take in terms of building a wardrobe or career-wise, because he's the wardrobe expert. I'm the career expert. If you're talking about career, I would say think about your career as a story. So it should be brand, technical, meaning you should always do a big name brand at some point. That's your Google, that's your Meta, that's your Goldman Sachs. And then you should do a technical experience, which is working at a nonprofit, that is working at a startup where you build strategic skills.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. And
That's
then,
so good.
thank you. And then brand is also where you learn how big organizations operate. That's where you learn politics. That's where you learn how to climb the corporate ladder. The last thing I would recommend is learning how to flip a corporate bag in your favor. So you should be choosing jobs, not only about compensation, not only about remote work, but you should also be choosing corporate jobs that will provide elevation experiences and opportunities, whether they will put you on a panel to speak, whether there's such a big brand that you're able to go to the Grammys or whatever that looks like. Choose jobs that aren't only for the temporary, but can help promote your personal brand.
I love that.
And then for clothing, what would you say?
I'm so like listening to you. I'm like, God, what was the question? Forgive me.
Okay, that see you as an influence. I'm a senior. What steps should we take? I guess like maybe first steps in terms of.
Clothing wise, the moment you're able to, I will say this again and again and again. Find yourself a suit. Like find yourself a suit, because like you've got the bottom, you've got the top, and you know what I'm saying. Like you can separate. Yeah. So definitely invest in a really good suit, not Suit Supply. Go get yourself a nice suit. It's a powerful statement, and it means everything in the right rooms, right? And your friends may not get it or understand it, and that doesn't matter. But again, like the person who's outfitting their life and suiting and proper suiting, like being the moment you're able to have a proper fitting, it will just change your mind about clothing. I recommend this to guys all the time, because it's like there's always that young guy that thinks that they know something about clothing or whatnot, and then you step into that space where it's really uncomfortable because it really exposes you, right? And it tells you what people are looking for outside of what they're looking to listen to, if that makes sense.
Yes, that's good. That's good. Okay, labels are for guys in sales. Okay, can you keep sharing his handle just so we can get that? Not all the time. What's his TikTok? We are going to share that in the comments, Jerrimiah, James. Lifestyle, hiking boots, sneakers, flip-flops. Everything has to be pretty.
Everything has to be clean.
Ooh.
Everything has to be like classic. Everything has to be timeless. Not, I would say timeless. Find yourself nice white shirts. Find yourself a nice, again, black pant, navy, gray, charcoal. Find yourself those kind of staples that are easy to pair. Find yourself a great khaki pant. That way, if you want to do a loud knit, something colorful, a crazy hat, whatever that looks like, you have a base.
Yeah, I love that.
Find yourself good bases. Base, yeah.
As a Black woman, we can change our hair however we want. Do you think it's necessary to have a set hairstyle?
You know, this is so crazy you should ask that question. I am working with a Black woman who's incredibly huge in this corporate space, but the people who work around her, they don't look like her. And so she has actually provided me just knowledge from her lens and her experiences, how important it is for Black women in those spaces not to do too many things with her, from her lens, that's her belief, and how she has been received because of that staple look of hers from the eyes of people who don't look like her, and it was profound.
I wonder if I think I know
It
who
was
it is.
huge. It was just like, she's like, we can't, like, find you. She's got a ponytail and she's got the, you know, and she's like, and those
Are the two looks that
those
she
are the
has.
two looks that, yeah.
Interesting. I think it also depends, to your point, on the spaces that you operate in as well.
Right,
If you're
absolutely.
in a fashion space, that might be totally different than if you're a corporate and you're in investment banking. They have a lesser appetite for it, but ultimately, like, if you want, I think there's idealism and there's realism. The reality is, like, perception is always being up for debate, and perception, particularly for Black women, is always up for debate. However, there's also an idealistic world I think we're growing closer and closer towards, where, you know, I see people all the time in corporate spaces who have dreads or who have colored hair, etc., and it's being more and more accepted. I will say sometimes it is an uphill battle, unfortunately, because biases exist. We're Black, we're women, and there's all of these biases that exist amongst us. So,
But especially with Black women, because you're so creative. There's so many things. Like, always, like, from my lens, it's like the ability for you to step out and just be, I don't know, like, so free and easy with how you want, however you decide to style your hair, do your makeup, do your nails, what that attracts a certain kind of jealousy from people who can't not express
And that's
themselves.
that
You know
on
what I'm
that,
saying? So it's
yes.
not even like, even with the politics, some of it is just because people are frustrated with their inability to
replicate,
to express, to be creative, to show, like, and so I would, and unfortunately, especially with her, this client of mine, being in a space where it's just white men who are, you know, controlling the dialogue in these rooms. So it's having to not yield in spaces that are perhaps uncomfortable to yield, but knowing that it's because of ego and not wanting to, you know, spark jealousy.
That's real, and that's real. Okay, I think we're getting towards the end. Okay, and then if I'm a late 20s woman wanting to build a wardrobe from complete scratch, how much should I budget? And then I think we'll have one more question after that.
What was the question?
Late 20s woman, New York City, wanting to build a wardrobe from complete scratch.
How much should I budget? I am not the right person.
The limit doesn't exist with them.
I tell you, like, I don't even want to say. My clients, that trend, that on average, like on a light day, it's 40 plus stuff. Like what we're doing, it's just not even fair. I don't even know what that looks like. What the spend to start? I would say like 10,000.
Okay, I think that's fair.
I think
a
that's
year
fair.
or in one spend.
No, definitely in one spend. Because, like, I feel like, okay, this is, what are you willing? What is your spend for? What's the most? I don't know, because then it becomes like the
10,000. Yeah,
exactly. But also too, it's like, are you one of those people where it's like, do you feel like there are people who feel like, oh, I have to spend that kind of money, I go to Zara. and then I can roll out a bunch of reasons why that's just a scary, like even conversation, belief to even lead in your life thinking. But like, so you find things that are good quality. Actually, this is what I would tell you. Forgive me. I know exactly what to share with you. Find things that are like 100% cotton, cashmere, good quality things, whether that's in Bloomingdale's, Macy's, or whatnot, and go and take that shit and get it tailored. That's what you should do. Like, you should find things that are rich in fabric, right? And then spend money on alterations. That's what I would say.
That's great.
Look tailored.
Finding a good tailor is like a true layering and tailoring, I think, are the signs of
Yep, that's exactly right.
Okay. Brand for women's suits?
Sergio Hudson.
I love Sergio Hudson. Best mid-luxury, high-luxury street brands. I don't know street brands at all.
You don't.
We don't know. We're going to get back to you. We're going to... Wait, why not Zara? Asking for the younger folks who don't have $10K. I've done tons of thrifting.
Yeah, but young people will spend a lot of money on a bunch of things. And it's just like, you have to organize your spend so that it works for you and not think that you need everything. So there's that argument, I would say. But Zara is just like, when you're buying something that's synthetic, if you're wearing plastic, so it warps, it stretches out. It's not something that you can keep long. So it's fast fashion. That's a whole nother issue there. It's taking more from the planet than what the planet has to give. So don't shop. Please don't shop fast fashion. It's just disgusting. No, it really is. And no one, like, people in like those spaces of play, they're not like, huh?
But I do think there is an argument to be made that a lot of people don't have expendable funds, and sometimes when you need basics, a Zara, a Banana,
a lot of people don't like to live the way that they should live. And if you find where you should be living and then build from there, that's okay. But you can't argue the argument that like, oh no, I have to shop here because. Well, no, I think you just need to be responsible and find out what that looks like from a budget space and how you're living your life. But if you're shopping fast fashion, I just have no space for it because it really is. I mean, we live on this planet, and if you, I mean, someone's gonna inherit it. Yeah. So it's like
that's very real. No, that's that on that. Okay. Are you saving this live? Yo, I don't know how to save lives. Someone tell me how to do that. Okay, we're gonna take one. Oh, there's so many good questions. Someone said undergarment suggestions, and then...
Oh, please, women, invest in getting like your bra fitting and get good foundation. It is so important. Good foundation is so important. Even if, and maybe you don't need like a spank or whatnot, but like just the way a garment moves, especially on women, the way that the dress will move, and like that's important. So foundation is so incredibly important. Go to Saks or Neiman's, wherever you shop, and get yourself a nice fitting, and talk to the woman that's been there in that department for years, because they will definitely school you on what colors you should be wearing, what tight stockings, things like that.
Okay, our last question: best luxury handbag brand.
Best luxury handbag brand.
Looks like from a woman.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. Like, honestly,
are you anti-Chanel?
I am anti-new Chanel.
With my Chanel 24.
I just look
my
at
Chanel collection.
And I love it. I really do love to see it, but like, it's just, the stuff is not made. Is not great. It's just not what it was.
Yeah.
And so when I think about those, so anyway, like, and I shouldn't say that for all of them. That's not the case. But the popular ones are just not what they once were.
Okay.
And that's important because the asking is so much higher than what it once was.
I agree.
It's like, it really is a privilege to be walking around with the Chanel.
Yeah.
So anyway, the best brand, and I'm the other thing is I'm afraid to say my brands because I don't want to. They're kind of corny, or like I'm not spending. Like, I love Cucinelli.
Oh yeah,
I love Cucinelli.
Or Laura Piano has those.
I
like
love
little,
Laura Piano. Yes, I love Celine. Cute. I think Celine is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Celine, Prada, and Saint Laurent fan when it comes to handbags.
I do love Saint Laurent. I love Saint Laurent in clothes too. Okay. Oh my God, 14 new messages. It's okay. All right. Oh, Selena's gorgeous. Well, thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Live. I appreciate that.
Okay, wait. Can you say your
Instagram is Jerrimiah James, JERRIMIAH James. And yeah, that's it.
Yay. Thank y'all for joining.
Thank you.
8,000 likes. We appreciate y'all. Bye, y'all.